Okay, now moving on into our packet, we are going to draw the bearing support. This one's a little bit more tricky. What it does introduce, though, I'll show you, is the fillet command, because you could draw these with round edges, but it's better to just draw it very blocky and then use the fillet command to really make this go faster. Okay, so we're looking at this object. You have your front, your right, and your top view. I'm going to draw it from the front, extrude it back. I'm going to cut a hole this way and cut 2 holes that side, and then fillet the edges to make it rounded. Okay, so we got 4 and 15/16. This thing's 1 3/4 tall. You got 15/16 to get up here. You got a 1 1/4. These are some of the overall dimensions to get this block shape. So let's go ahead and jump into Inventor. We're going to start a new part. Once you start a new part, it's always smart to go up File, Save As. Save that part as whatever you're drawing, bearing support, wherever you need to save it. So now I have my drawing saved. I'm going to hit Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to click on this front plane. I'm going to start drawing. I always start from the center. It doesn't really matter where you start, I guess, depending on your work planes, but we're going to go this way to the right, 4 and 15/16. So we're going to go over 4 and 15/16. Zoom out a little bit. We're going to go up 15/16 and then back 1 1/4. So we're going to go up 15/16, back to the left 1 1/4, and then we're going to go up. As we go up, you're like, oh no, they don't give me a dimension. Well, they give you 1 3/4 here, 15/16 here. Hopefully you can do this in your head. If you can't and you don't have a calculator, Inventor does it for you. If I type in 1 3/4 minus 15/16, let's see what happens. 1 3/4 minus 15/16, voila. It'll give you the measurement that you need, which is super helpful. Time saving, you know. So 2 7/16 is the next one. So we'll go 2 7/16, 2 7/16. Simply go down. Your polar tracking will stop you right here. We'll left click, left click, left click. Now I have this blocked out. I finish the sketch. I extrude the object back a distance of 2 5/8. So I go back 2 5/8. I did that kind of weird, but it went back 2 5/8. Next thing you want to do is cut this circle out right here. So you want to get this 3/4 inch radius circle. It's on the center of your object. So I'm going to click on this work plane. I'm going to create a sketch. I'm in that work side. I'm going to hit circle. I'm going to go to the middle, and you see how it snaps to the middle, kind of like whoosh, the dot becomes green. That's snapping to the center. I need a 3/4 radius. So I right click, get to radius, left click to accept that, type in 3/4, hit enter, and I can use this to extrude back. So I hit extrude, I select that face. Instead of adding to it, I'm going to use the cut option. So I cut. You can see it's starting to cut all the way through. You can leave it the distance, or you can just say all the way through, so you know it goes all the way through. Hit OK, and now I have this rounded edges. Alright, so now what I need to do is round these corners here and add these circles. So before we do the fillet button, let's just go ahead and add these 3/4 diameter holes that are 1 5/16 from the front and 9/16 in. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to hit create sketch, rotate it down, hit circle. I'm going to start here somewhere, it doesn't matter. My measurement is 3/4 inch diameter. Right click, go back to diameter, 3/4 there, come over on this side, 3/4 there, hit the dimension tool to tie it down. Okay, so I want to go from the center, this circle, to the front. That I want it to be 1 5/16. So I change that to 1 5/16. Voila. You can click on the circle and click on the front. Oop, if you don't get it, click on the circle, click on the front. 1 5/16. A couple different ways to do it. And then to go in, I want to click on the circle and then to this edge, and that measurement was 9/16. Do that on both sides. Click 9/16, like such. Finish the sketch. Rotate it up a little bit. Extrude. Instead of adding like this, we're going to use this cut button. I'm going to change it to all. Hit OK. And now I have those holes. The only thing left to do is to round these corners with this fillet button. So the fillet button is right here, fillet. So you click fillet, you get a dialog box. There's a few options up here. I can talk about it at a later time, but we're just going to use the constant, which means like you're going to do one edge at a time. Right here, one edge. Here's the radius. So if we change this to 1/8, and you look on your drawing, you have 1-inch radius fillets right here. You simply click on this edge and you can see it starts to make it round, which is awesome. So you can do one at a time if you want to practice. Hit OK. Flip your model around. Hit fillet. It still remembers 1/8, one edge. Click here. Hit OK. The only thing left to do are these ones here on the corners. 9/16 right here. So let's go ahead and do those. Fillet. Change it to 9/16. Click on this rounded edge here, hit OK. And if you want, you can do all four, or you can simply do them all together, but let's just do one at a time for practice. It's still remembering it from the last time. Then one last fillet here, and there you go. You got your bearing support. Go ahead and practice that one.